Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is part of my capstone dissertation project. And I teach in the dental hygiene program. And so it's very interesting to me to see how student success actually affects what we do on a daily basis. And so this is where this presentation kind of got started. And so I'll go ahead and move forward. You can see kind of what I'm going to be speaking about, and I'll just jump right in. I'm going to talk a little bit about what the history of the Nbdhe, which is the National Board of Dental Hygiene Education, and so you can see what the history is. Um, Dental hygienists usually can earn as a um, kind of a beginning degree, associate's, or a bachelor's degree. And so now there's some talk about having this be an entry level degree as a bachelor's degree. So that's probably going to be on the horizon. And so there's about 400 degree programs in dental hygiene across the United States. And most of them kind of do fall into these two categories, associate and bachelor's. SIU Carbondale, where I work, is the only bachelor's degree dental hygiene program in Illinois. So we really pride ourselves in that. And so what we want to do is make our program the best it can be and train educators or possibly someone who wants to go into uh, kind of a broadened part of the field and make them a better professional. There are degree completion programs as well as master's degree programs in dental hygiene. And so, what our students have to do is they have to pass their clinical exam, which is on a patient or mannequin, at a 75% or higher. And the computerized exam is basically what I looked primarily at. And they have to pass that as well with a 75%. In 2020, it was around the time of COVID, and we decided to use a HESI exam, which is packaged by Elsevier for a mock board computerized exam to just see how our students are doing and to test their knowledge. They actually had to we set this up completely as the Nbdhe exam, where they have to score a 75% on the first attempt to be able to sit for the licensure exam. And if they don't, then they need to remediate prior to taking the exam, and that's usually after graduation. And so the exam is a 9-hour exam. It's basically on a computer. And so it's very intense. There's discipline based questions and case based. And it's about a 350 question exam. It's not like the nursing exam where it shuts off after a certain percentage of correct responses. They actually have to sit for the entire exam. And these exams are not given through us, they're given at a Pearson VUE testing center. We actually do have our board review in our program right now, and then some of our students choose to take an outside board review. There was a little bit of a change due to COVID. They actually changed some of the kind of the sections of the exam, and so you can see those listed there. This is the statistics that I really was curious about. When did our pass rate start kind of having a marked change? And where we started seeing it was probably about 2016, where the SIU pass rates were 84% and the national pass rates were 95%. And then as you can see, look at 2017, we really had a very, very marked change. So we needed to get to the bottom with exactly what was happening, either within our program, within our student pool. We did change our GPA entry from a 3.0 to a 2.75. So that does make a difference there. But what else was happening? We lost a lot of seasoned faculty within our program that taught a lot of the content didactically. So, I feel just from what we saw in the data that we were starting to see a big decline, and so we needed to address it. I highlighted some years as well, just to kind of see where our pass rates ended up going in comparison to the national. The 2019 was just a very poor year for us. And so, as of 2023, which we're getting ready to look at in our advisory meeting tomorrow, we actually have had a very good increase with getting close to the national pass rate. So we're very excited. Let's go ahead and look at the significance. We wanted to actually look at the different types of GPA and if the records really affect the exam. And we also wanted to look at the not only the entry pre GPA and student interviews and things like that. We also wanted to look at our population pool and look at the diversity within that. And our research, I should say, my research design was quantitative methods, and I used 10 years of Nbdhe scores and looked at frequency and percentages on some indications here. Cluster population was used because the data and the students were from my institution. There were some limitations, as I mentioned earlier, faculty turnover and retirements, missing data on our micro and path course made for a very challenging situation. And then we discovered also that our faculty were not a part of the student selection process. We relied on academic advisors to do that. So since then, we've changed that. And so now we're hoping that that improves our success. Delimitations, we're looking at kind of the COVID-19 reporting. We also looked at passing scores for us are A, B, or C. D or F, the students have to basically retake those courses. And another thing to kind of consider is the methodology. I actually looked at pre-entry GPA, GPA and science-based didactic courses, which are listed there, and then also graduating GPA. Between a 2012 and 2019 timeframe, they looked at raw score and standard deviations on topic areas. And around COVID, they went through and did a pass fail assignment of a score. So if you passed, it was 75% or higher. You didn't really get a report on that, so we didn't know how much they were passing. And then a fail is a 74 or below. This is kind of the breakout of the Nbdhe first attempt pass rates by year of graduation. And again, you can see probably our maximum number of students that we had in any given year was 35. And we started seeing a major change in about 2016 to 2017. And 2020 was when COVID was kind of really thick, in the United States and beyond. And we can see that it did affect some of our numbers. Pre-entry GPA, and this is just some information. I may kind of go ahead and proceed on. Microbiology, we didn't really see a lot of a lot of correlation there between the pass rate for micro and the pass rate of the exam. Oral anatomy definitely did not have any failures, so therefore was not significant. The same with dental radiology, and it also was the same thing in radiology 1, 2, head and neck anatomy. Even though this table reflects dental radiology just 1, but the data was exactly the same. Oral pathology really wasn't as significant as well. So, to summarize, we'll go ahead and kind of look at that. There really was no significance seen in pre entry GPA or high school GPA and the success on this board exam. Micro had a lot of missing data. Actually, students, we found out through the registrar's office that they could retake their micro course and then their new grade trumped the old grade. So therefore it could be construed as being an kind of an inflation type of with the grading and GPA. And there was no correlation between the science-based didactic courses and the board, and the GPAs did improve while the students were in our program. So, what does that mean? Is there some grade inflation there as well in individual courses? And so, we're trying to hold the students accountable and make sure that we hate to say teach to the test, but we actually set a lot of our questions as a board question on exams and quizzes, excuse me. And so let me go ahead and this is the summary. All course grades should be maintained by our program so we know exactly um, kind of the apples and apples of the scenario, making sure that we know what the original grades are. We want to also make sure and increase our professional building courses to improve our skill sets of our students. And we want to also include our faculty in the selection process and improve our remediation. And this is a test that we actually started using in 2021. And it really actually did not predict success of the national board, but in 2022, we saw a lot of prediction of success. So this is 2021. We had 28 students. We had 13 students of the 28 failed the HESI, which is the Elsevier test. And then if they failed the HESI and they failed the Nbdhe on the first attempt, that went down to 6. And so that really wasn't predicting, a lot of success there. But look at this number from 2022 class. We had 21 students. We had 5 fail the HESI. We had 5 fail the Nbdhe on the first attempt. So that aligned almost identical to what we had there. So just we'll probably have some questions at the end, but I just wanted to say that I really learned a lot from this project, and it hopefully has made our program so much more fruitful. And we can say that we are making strides to improve what we have with our students and how we teach the students moving forward. So. Thank you. I appreciate your time.